My mum had quite a difficult life, I'd say, at times. She always fought for everything that she had. Mum was quite strong-willed. A lot of people say I was very much like my mum. We're always quite an open family, so unlike a lot of families that don't talk about death and dying, we've always been quite open about it. Mum was quite adamant what she didn't want, and she didn't want a traditional funeral. She didn't want, as she would say, men in black coats coming to cart her off, her words, and she didn't want brass handles on a coffin. She said, "You can do anything, I don't want brass handles." So we knew from the start that we weren't going to go to down like a traditional route. And I think what we all found very enlightening was that we could do what we wanted. We didn't have to have a package. I'd never been to Redditch crematorium. We didn't really consider it to begin with. Like many people, you think that you have to go to your local creme, and our local one that we thought is quite dark and quite Victorian style, which Mum wouldn't have wanted. So when we found out about Redditch, it's just, beautiful, bright, airy. It's had the views over the countryside, so we knew it was the right place. Again, with funerals, I think it's so important that the whole family get involved. That's what we found quite refreshing. We all had little jobs to do, which kept us all involved. So everybody had a role, which really helped us all as a family come together and made that few weeks bearable. And really helped my dad a lot, that he had some control and he could choose what he wanted. So with the funeral, Mum said she didn't want brass handles on a wooden coffin, so we had a cardboard one, and we had it covered in like a bluebell wood, and so we had a photograph like superimposed onto the coffin of her turning and waving in the woods. And some people would think that was quite weird, but it's not. And I've never seen a reaction to a coffin before the way we did, but when we brought Mum back to the house, all the neighbours came out and all the neighbours were taking photographs. The coffin was so beautiful and they all just wanted to see it, and I think it's felt so natural and right that we do that. I think we're brought up with these old-fashioned views from probably way back to the Victorian times about funerals and how they should be and how we should, sort of treat people once they've passed. But for us, it was the most natural thing in the world. I thought one thing that was really good for my dad was that he could spend his last moments with Mum. So he sat with the coffin in the hearse, and I think that's just wonderful. Might not be okay for everyone, but for my dad, that was his special time and it helped him a lot. And then during the service, Dad was always adamant that people are on budgets. People can't afford huge floral displays. So what we did was we asked everybody to bring one flower, one stem. It could be, out of the garden or anywhere, just bring one flower. And we had about 120 people at Mum's funeral, and I think everyone bought one stem. And at the end of the funeral, the flowers just looked beautiful. So many different types and colours. Mum would have been overjoyed by it all. I think the information that Mum gave us was very useful about what she didn't want in the funeral. And I think then finding yourselves really was a match made in heaven, as they say. But it really was, because we knew Mum would get the care and the send-off that she would have loved, and she would have loved to have been there and seen it all. And now it's a long time's passed, but people still talk about Mum's funeral. Even now, friends say, "Oh, I remember your Mum's funeral was beautiful. It was such a happy occasion." even though it obviously it's one of the worst days of your life.